Oh, yeah, a Tool song.
You've all heard the expression, when the green flag drops, the bullshit stops. Well, that might not be the case today because for some reason at High Point, they mixed in wood chips, which means they probably mixed in more manure. That's right, there might be some bullshit out on that track today after the green flag drops, which does not make the bullshit stop. In fact, it's really slippery with the wood chips and the bullshit, and a lot of people are kind of pissed off about it. Damn it, Moto Man, get Davey Coombs on the phone. Somebody get Davey Coombs on the phone. And I want to know why you have an effing racetrack with effing crap on it and a whole bunch of effing wood chips when it's slippery out there. That's what I need to know. And speaking of bullshit, here's the Big 49 race coverage. Enjoy.
Here we go. I say those words are correct. It is some BS out on that muddy mud bog of a track today.
Yeah, it is. It's quite the track today, as a matter of fact. It is very, very, very rutted out, gnarly, nasty, slow, muddy.
It looks soupy, like it's
rutted
just
to
bad.
the pegs. It was just watching qualifying this morning. I felt bad for every single rider out there. So number one in qualifying for 450 this morning was obviously your buddy Ken Roczen.
Shout out to Ken Roczen.
But the number two in qualifying, who I was rather not, but yes, I was rather surprised at, was one Mr. Jet Lawrence, who put in his fastest qualifying round at the very end of qualifying, and I actually got to watch it. So
he sandbagged a little to the
yeah.
end.
So Ken Roczen came in but Jet Lawrence went down like 3 or 4 times during qualifying.
Okay.
So
looks like everyone did. By the way.
Everyone did.
I'm seeing a montage right now of
Crashes.
basically every rider crashing during qualifying.
Yeah, it was just crash central.
Yeah.
But Jet Lawrence, put in his fastest lap time. I think it was a 2:23, and Ken Roczen qualified early at a 2:21 when the track was still in decent condition. So it's mudded out, rutted out, gnarly. They did say that they were going to be running some maintenance on the track this morning to kind of try to fix some of the issues with the track because it's
how do you do
pretty
it?
bad.
It's been raining. Here's what I know.
They're going to have to put some dozers on it. They're
Yeah.
going to have to get some dozers out there and just
dig it out,
move some stuff around and flatten out some areas, even though they're going to get gnarly ass rutted. So
yeah, immediately after that, they're going to get gnarly rutted because that ground looks like it's literally like just
it's
muddy
saturated.
goo.
Yeah, it's bad when Ken Roczen gets on the box this morning and the first thing he says out of his mouth is, "Normally, I don't look forward to the wood chips, but today, every time I hit the wood chips, it was the best spot on the whole track."
Wow,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Should they use that lime again like they did in San Diego that year?
Yeah,
It was a total swamp.
They did not put concrete on the track.
Okay.
That's
Not yet.
They
Not
only
yet.
they only do that.
No.
In all seriousness, they only do the concrete at the indoor stadium tracks because they know they're going to trash the dirt.
For sure.
They don't do that on the outdoor tracks. So they put things like manure and wood chips on the track to try to absorb
hurt
a
in the
lot of the
roost.
water.
Yeah.
Which really hurt in the roost. The wood chips
Yeah.
people complain about a lot when they're getting roosted by them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they get pretty gnarly.
Dude, this is going to
So.
be one of those days. Bikes are going to blow up today, I have a feeling.
I already saw 2 bikes blow up in qualifying. One of those was a muck-off FXR.
You
Oh,
muck off.
again.
No, you muck off. Don't
starting
you tell
already.
me to muck off.
Muck off. I like Phil Nicoletti. I don't know
So,
what you're talking
by the
about.
way, Dirty Phil Nicoletti qualified at 38th this morning in the 450s, and you would not have thought that Weege was happier. You would have thought Christmas came early for him. Him and Ricky Carmichael are doing like the happy pee-pee dance up in the broadcast booth this morning because Dirty Phil Nicoletti got in at 38.
Really?
Oh, they were just, I mean, it was a celebration. You could have broken out the champagne this morning.
Oh.
Weege was just like, "Phil, good job. Came in at 38. Oh,
Well,
I made the cut."
It's his coworker. Phil works at Racer X too,
Yeah.
so that they're buddies from there, and also Weege is just cool.
Yeah, Weege is cool.
Yeah.
And RC is running the broadcast booth this morning. So
Oh no, that means they're going to cut our feed at some point.
at some point, they're not going to cut our feed. They're only going to cut your feed.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know why?
So
Because
cut the feed to the broadcast at the Big 49 West in the Palisades, Santa Monica area.
They already have a stretch in the basement.
Yeah,
but you know what's
pretty
the
good out in the
problem? The
basement.
problem is if Ricky does it, then that means to repair it, I have to get down on the ground and crawl around. That's going to be the bummer. But other than that, a little inconvenience, but we'll be fine. I'll get back on the air.
All right. Super. So that's what's gone on this morning. If you're going to put Justin Cooper in your picks,
I saw that crash.
I would not.
Oh, yeah.
Just
That
saying.
looked gnarly, dude.
Just saying, Cooper's got some serious damage to his wrist.
Oh, okay.
So he's hurt from that crash as well.
He was hurt already, and he got into an entanglement on the track at the very end, and they said, he's not looking so good. He's gonna make the showing, but he's not feeling so hot.
Just to hold on to the points,
Yeah,
it looks like.
hold on to the points.
He held on to the bike. The bike he was completely off the bike, but for whatever reason decided to keep hanging on, and then really the bike slammed and then tweaked, and that's where it cranked his wrist.
Yep. And
Ooh.
Hayden Deegan had #1 in qualifying in 250 this morning. So
Really?
Hayden Deegan did a really good job in qualifying on the 250s.
He's good at this outdoor stuff, that kid.
He's pretty good all the way around. It was funny they were showing Brian Deegan this morning signing autographs, and Brian's like a rock star, and it's a bunch of dudes standing around looking like Kyle. Brian, you're my bro. You're my bro, Brian.
Like Raider fans, those guys?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll be perfectly honest with everybody. I'm not the biggest fan of Brian.
No, I'm just saying.
But-
It's a lot of guys that literally look just like you standing around there.
Yeah.
Your same age. Brian Deegan,
Militia for life.
militia man. So that was kind of funny. Like,
At least they're old school.
Oh, there's a lot of old school up. So High Point is one of those old school tracks. It's one of those tracks that you have to go and pay homage to at some point if you're going to be following this sport. And it's they call it the Country Club. And it's the Country Club of motocross tracks. So this and Red Bud are both beautiful, beautiful motocross tracks. And they're like almost golf courses when it comes to how they're laid out and how they're put together and the topography. And then, of course, there's beautiful green grass everywhere between all the lines. It's not like you would see at Paula or at Glen Helen, where it's just a dirt field and it's just like dirt.
Right.
Well, it's Pennsylvania.
Dirt.
It rains a lot there, so you're gonna get greenery, which totally changes everything.
Yeah.
And the dirt's hard out there.
Yeah.
It's beautiful green grass everywhere and just gorgeous area.
That's like any golf course would make a good motocross track.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, and in Stretch's benefit this morning, I did watch a lot of the qualifying this morning, and in Stretch's benefit, NBC is back to their old ways. So if you need tampons, if you need Botox, and if you need some HIV
The
drugs,
HIV, it's back.
They're showing all the great commercials, but they also were intertwining some of the golf club commercials in the middle there. So they had golf club commercials and truck commercials intertwined with the Botox and your HIV drugs.
Oh, jeez.
Wow, they're in rare.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it's Gay Pride Month.
Well, exactly.
They got to represent.
And I kind of got a little bit of that this morning when Kyle told me what you were doing tomorrow.
Oh, no.
Yeah, what am I doing? What am I doing?
I didn't
tomorrow?
say anything of this, Stretch.
It's Father's Day. I'm not doing
He's
anything
putting
other.
words in my mouth.
Are you guys insinuating something after of the Last Chance Radio proposal that I sent you yesterday?
This is strictly moto.
I'm just saying that he tells me this morning, he's like, I heard a rumor, and I'm like, what's the rumor? And he's like, Stretch is gonna go up to super duper hill tomorrow.
Wow. I don't even know what that is.
I did not say that.
I was like, is that
fake news?
Is that a WeHo?
It's actually,
is that a WeHo?
I'm going to Downey tomorrow for Father's Day with my whole family.
Is that Palm Springs or is that
It's
WeHo?
on the way. It's on the way.
It's on the way.
Wow. I do know this. I know I worked very hard to put together a Last Chance Radio Instagram proposal, and you guys shot it down, and I was offended.
You were offended?
Moto
I
told
was
me,
offended.
he goes, dude, just don't respond.
I was like, man, I'm offended. They don't like the proposal to promote their show on Instagram. It was going to say LCR, Moto Man, Kyle, 3 to 7 p.m.
I
Today
knew,
on Big 49.
Stick with South Park characters.
I knew you were out at. I was gonna say I knew you were out at Dodger Stadium yesterday celebrating. So
With the nuns?
yeah. You know what was funny about that? In all
A
seriousness,
lot of Major League players are really pissed about that.
yeah, they are. I watched the news coverage of that which was really kind of funny because it wasn't about inside the stadium that they were really covering. It was about the thousands of people surrounding Chavez Ravine protesting all the Catholic Church, saying, "You guys are evil, satanic pieces of crap." They had the Jews and the Catholics out there in front of Chavez Ravine going, "You guys are all evil."
How was the turnout inside? And did they boo?
It wasn't really great. It wasn't really great. That's why they weren't talking about the inside, because it wasn't a sold-out game. It wasn't a sold-out anything. It was just kind of like, all right, you're here.
And it's the Giants too, which is a huge rivalry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See, I thought it would have not done well attendance-wise, just for like a protest, and then that was about all we were going to see of it. I didn't think they'd show up in masses outside the stadium.
They showed up outside the stadium in full regalia. It was like an army of Catholics and Jews, outside.
But, I'm with Kyle. That's a sellout game against the Giants.
Yeah, Giants and Dodgers. That's like, oh my God, that's like the Cowboys and Stretch's Giants.
Yeah, that's a big rivalry.
Yeah, it's a huge rivalry.
Yeah.
It's a huge rivalry.
Good. I know they're doing Christian Family Day on July 30th because of Clayton Kershaw. He came in and was like, "This is crap. You can't do this, man."
He put his foot down.
Yeah, and he's their big dude. He's like, so they caved in.
And there's been a couple other players too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they also they had gotten rid of that after COVID. They used to do that every year, and then all of a sudden it was gone.
Right.
And then it came back. Dude, I am watching more and more video angles on this crash of Justin Cooper. He was down for a long time. I'm with you. He is getting nowhere near the podium today if he races.
Yeah, he'll be on the track. He will be there, but I'm just saying that he's not going to be there in full 100%. So if you've got him,
that dude's hurt.
Yeah, if you've got him on your picks, you're picking a hurt rider.
Yeah.
So just FYI.
For sure,
Gotcha.
he is hurt.
So I've got my 250 picks and my 450 picks. So
Yep, I'm ready.
Wow.
I'm Doan, Donng with a capital
How many?
C.
Here's a question for both of you. You don't have to tell me who, but how many chicken wagons do you have in your picks?
Hold on here. Hold on
One.
here. Yeah. Hold on.
Just one.
One.
Huh?
And very prominent one.
Huh. I wonder who that is.
Take a licking. There is someone waiting who will hurry up and rescue you. Just call for Super Chicken. Fred, if you're afraid, you'll have to overlook it. Besides, you knew the job was dangerous when you took it. He will drink his super sauce and throw the bad guys for a loss, and he will bring them in alive and kicking. There is one thing you should learn when there is no one else to turn to. Call for Super Chicken. Call for Super Chicken.
All right, you know what's awesome about that? Today is the day the Super Chicken saves motocross, because you heard us last week at the end of the show. It was like, all right, this was kind of boring today. I don't know if I want to do this long of a show anymore, if they're going to be this boring. I remember having second thoughts of moto coverage last week.
Yeah.
And then today I am fired up because we get freaking a big old chicken wagon coming back to save the day.
You get your Kenny Roxons coming back.
That's right.
Yeah.
So-
I love that he said it was his son. That, like, he wanted to go. He told his wife, and they're like, well, and then they asked the boy, and the boy's like, let's go racing, man.
Yeah, it was funny. So as he was leaving the podium this morning and he was on the 450, I am surprised they let this fly on TV. So he was on the 450 on the podium, talks to Weege and the NBC folks. As he's finished, or actually he's talking to Ricky at the time. As he's finished, he grabs his son, kickstarts the bike. Okay, and it was like one quick maneuver. Grabs his son, kickstarts the bike, puts his kid on the tank, and then rolls off the podium right down. No helmets, no nothing. And I'm thinking, I can't believe some mom group protest Karen group hasn't jumped up and down and said, I can't believe that 3-year-old's on a motorcycle without a helmet.
Oh, yeah.
You know what's so weird about it, though? Like honestly, I get, all right, whatever. You're right to some degree. But this dude isn't just a dude on a motorcycle. This dude is an effing artist. This is like Van Gogh. You know what I mean? These guys that ride at this level, they really know what they're doing.
It's still a 3-year-old.
I know. And I could see that issue, like, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, you have any idea how skilled this dude is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Freaking A. It's like, it's So funny that people get worked
what,
up.
what if the child slips off the tank and there's mud and all of a sudden he's on the ground and then he'll just get stomped and trampeded by the tires?
Well, here's what I know.
Look what happened to Cooper Webb and Adam Cirillo.
Well, if you had a helmet on a kid right now, at this day and age, if you had a helmet on the kid, they'd be saying, "I don't like the colors that child is wearing. They're not gender fluid." You'd be like, "Okay, all right." We're abusive everywhere we go.
Yeah.
Even though Kenny Roczen's wearing pink today. He's wearing a big pink outfit.
Is he?
Yeah, he was earlier. He had to get something on. I think there's going to be multiple, judging from what the track conditions were, I think there's going to be multiple wardrobe changes because I watched Cooper Webb as he finished, and he was happy to be there, but he stood in front and he was showering with a high pressure like nozzle sprayer, like you would spray the bike down with one of those, 150 psi. Cooper Webb grabbed that, and he was showering himself with that before he even got into the trailer. I saw him on his boots and on his legs, and he's just like, I got to get this off of me.
So it's that bad.
It's that gnarly. When Cooper Webb's showering with a pressure washer, you know you got something.
That's so effing dangerous, by the way.
That's
more dangerous than the motorcycle without the helmet.
Yeah, I'm saying. You know you got something going on when you're hitting yourself with 150 PSI water, cold, just to get it off of you.
Dude, I used a pressure washer one time because I was lazy and didn't want to sand a fence. I just pressure washed that thing, and it was good to go.
Yeah,
then I painted it after it dried. It was nice.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. Oh, it'll knock the dry paint off anything.
Oh, God,
and the skin off your bones.
Yeah. But
Wow.
if you're Cooper Webb, it makes a great shower.
Yeah.
So-
But those pants and boots are tough. They'll protect you.
They are. I just thought it was kind of funny. He was just like, I'm pre-showering before I even shower, and I'm just going to shower with a pressure washer right here on TV.
Yeah.
God,
I didn't even have an awkward moment where I was standing there in front of R.J. Wageman as he's literally, probably nude, showering right there in the middle of the
No,
pit
you were
area.
standing there trying to wash his back. We heard.
No, I wasn't. I
You were
was
like, RJ, let me scrub your back. And he was like, dude, get out of here. You want some jerky? Go over there.
No, it was. We actually had a great conversation. He was like, "Hey, man, what's up? Great, thanks for coming by. Blah blah blah. You want some jerky? His girlfriend went over and got some jerky out of the trailer, and we all sat there and had a conversation. So
And you're like, I'll soap you up.
no, that would have been you. That would have been you. That would have been you.
Don't drop the soap.
I was like, wait, you know that this is the month, right? This is Stretch's month right now.
You said, wait a minute. Moto Man said, rub-a-dub-dub, RJ, jump in the tub. That's what he said. I was like, oh, man. This is horrible. Oh, Shimoda looks good today, too.
Yep.
Nice.
He is on my picks today.
You know what's funny? We got to look at who's had the fewest crashes so far, because they'll crash and get banged up and still get on the bike.
Well, I'm going to tell you there's a few here that you want to look at, especially in the 450s. And one of the ones you need to pay attention to in the 450s right now, and I'm having a hard time on my number 4, number 5, is going to be one Mr. Adam Cirillo, because AC was looking good today.
My problem with Adam is the endurance of this is, as much as this is a sprint and a marathon, the marathon part of this worries me with Adam C. with that injury that's kind of nagging that comes on more and more as the day wears on.
Yeah. Well, he's practicing, and last week he got on the box. So, as I've predicted and told everybody throughout this entire season, as Adam's been back, he has been slowly baby stepping, one little step in front of the other, getting better. So, I think that his new techniques and his new way of doing things is working out for him really well. And I'm not going to say that he's not going to be as phenomenal as one Mr. Jet Lawrence, who went down several times today in practice, by the way.
Dude, Hunter Lawrence went down. I'm looking at a video of Hunter Lawrence. I'm counting at like 5 crashes. No, nothing gnarly at all. No, but just falling over.
Nothing really is going to be super gnarly because it's super soupy and super wet and super slow, and you only have about 3 lines you can take in the entire track. And that's in the entire track. You have 3 lines, which means in most corners, no passing. You have a single line, which means lappers and lap traffic are going to slow everything down. Plus the fact the mud, the start's going to be really huge. So if Jet can get some clear air and they do play in the track and get the track a little bit managed, because I understand they're going to run 250s first, 450 second, The 250s, though, are still rutting things out pretty good on their
What's
own.
the altitude here? I know it's no Denver, but is there some altitude to contend with here? Because it's at Mount Morris.
Yeah, not really. It's. I want to say it's about like 1,300 feet. It's not a lot.
All right, so yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, Pennsylvania is not a very high state.
Yeah, but what's funny is it's in their higher elevation areas, one of the highest points in the state.
But
So
what
I'm
they
like,
call,
how high is it? Yeah,
so
they don't have mountains.
What they call a mountain on the East Coast and what we call a mountain on the West Coast are two completely different geographical phenomenon. Okay,
Literally, where you guys are right now would be a full-blown mountain on the East Coast.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we're just in the foothills right
Yeah.
next to the big mountains that actually
Yeah.
go into the desert. So where we're at, you've got peaks that go up to 8,000 to 10,000 feet, whereas where they're at a peak, what you call a peak in the East Coast, the highest peak I think is like 2,300 feet.
That's also why all of the radio generators for New York City are on buildings, because there's no landmass anywhere near there. That's
Exactly.
The buildings are taller than the mountain peaks.
Yeah, way taller.
The mountains are just rolling hills for the most part. What they call mountains are really rolling hills. So 2,300 feet is the maximum elevation you're going to get on the east coast of the United States. Yeah, I mean that's as high as the Verdugo Hills. That's as high as the KROQ transmitter sitting over Glendale.
Yeah, that's not for. And that was the worst
Beaumont.
transmitter in L.A.
That's the worst one in LA.
Yeah.
2,300 feet. So
Wow.
everybody else is Mount Wilson, which is 5,500.
Yeah.
Hey, is Jason coming, or is he sending his pics?
Jason's trying to ignore you. Actually, he
just arrived.
He just
Oh,
arrived.
perfect. Because
He
I
just arrived.
was like, let's get our pics then.
Stretch, it sounds like you moved your studio into the bathroom.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
He's dropping
Nice.
a big old deuce right now.
Yeah.
He did.
I'm
He's
in there
actually
right now,
he's sitting on the
practicing
can.
so I can look in the mirror as I talk. It's kind of
sounds
hot.
like-
Hype himself up.
When I was in the truck, that's what it sounded like.
It sounds like he's in the can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Little echo, little.
Little bit of echo in there.
I
Yeah.
got some reverbery going on my microphone, so I
Okay.
sound sexy.
When you need to wipe or flush, just hit mute, please. Just do us that favor.
No.
Because I don't need to hear that. Like I don't need to hear like when you're growling one out. Like,
Wait, hold-
oh.
And
Yeah.
today it's cool. There we go.
I don't need to growling one out of the radio, man. That's not good.
Ripping a growler. You never know. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
more. It's called more fiber in the diet. You just need more fiber. More fiber.
I'm
you know?
against fiber. That's all carbs.
Yeah.
Bad carbs.
You need more fiber in the diet because it's really not good if you're gonna go knock out the O-ring.
Could we
You know?
could we talk to Babek and find out if which beer has the most fiber in it? Because that'll help me.
Yeah, we'll get you some action on that.
A fiber energy drink would be good.
Exactly. Stretch recommends in the morning.
Fiber death.
Fiber death.
So when you're sprinting to the toilet, you got all that energy to push that growler
Fiber
out.
squeeze.
Yeah.
My
that
God.
would be
Fiber.
fun.
I don't know.
So
I'm liking that. I buy that.
Ghost fiber.
now the
Yeah,
whole
I'm old.
now the whole gang's in the studio here.
Yeah, we are ready to roll on. But the more videos I am seeing, the more of a crap hole this track is today, where it literally looks like dark oatmeal in most of the turns. It's like the same consistency, I would say, too.
So like
Well,
barf.
when Cooper Webb is hosing off with a pressure washer, that just should tell you something. The stuff is sticky and gnarly, and what this track reminds me the most of, if I want to go into the Wayback Machine for a second, I'm going to say Loretta Lynn's circa 2019 Eli Tomac sinking the bike to the bars, blowing it up, and walking away.
Yeah, that's Eli.
I'm just saying.
Speaking of Eli, and when he did that, it was on a green machine. What do you guys think of that new green machine? They announced this weekend. It's very involved.
Apparently, Kyle's going to go out and he's selling everything.
No.
He told me he's selling
Here he
everything
goes
and he's
again,
going to go
putting
buy
words in my
one.
mouth. He's trying to start crap between me and Jason right now.
Yeah,
All I
he's
said
selling it
was-
all, and he's gonna go buy one. He's
said-
going right to Cowie Corporate.
Yeah.
What I
Because
said
I told him
was-
don't mention any dealers on the air.
I'm totally 60-40 against this.
But
right
he
now.
said he's gonna go right to Cowie Corporate.
Is he going straight to Mitch?
Yeah, he's
I
going
am.
right
I'm
to
gonna go
Mitch.
Talk to the what is it? The Yoda.
Yep, he's going to the
Clan
Yoda.
member, or the
Are
clan,
you Moto Really Brothers?
clan leader? Am I? And Boda? No. No, I'm just not brand loyal. No, I think the Cowie's sick looking, dude, and it's all new, redesigned. I'm sorry, Jason. I think it's badass.
But you know what's weird? The way they write it
Why,
up.
why do you have to slap Jason across the face
I'm
like
not.
that?
I'm saying.
Why do you
this-
have to
'cause
say
I
such
talk-
mean things to
He and I
Jason?
talk a lot of crap to each other. This is not messing with
He's
Jason.
not brand loyal.
Yeah, he's not brand loyal.
I'm not.
No brand loyalty at all.
No, I just put a bike in front of me. I'll ride it. I don't care.
Wow.
Why,
You
why do
know?
you have to slap Jason in the face like
I
that?
ride a Yamaha. Come on, Jason. Leave me alone.
Why do you have
about
to
that-
hurt his feelings?
What about
like
that LBZ hat?
Exactly.
Till you could sell
Exactly.
sell that Yamaha to
not
get your
brand loyal.
Kawasaki.
That's not a brand. That's a family, dude.
That's not brand loyal.
LBZ's family. That's so far beyond a brand, dude.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, why you
Yeah.
gotta slap Jason in the face
I'm
like
not.
that?
I'm not slapping anybody in the
Means-
face. I'm
Yeah.
saying I think it looks sick.
I mean, you gotta ride in here on a green machine right from Cowie Corporate.
Do I have one in my truck?
You were
What do I have in my truck?
You were wishing for it.
I got a blue. Oh, it's a blue.
don't.
It's a blue Cowie. Yeah.
All right.
You don't have the deal cut yet. That's
right.
what it is.
I'm kidding.
Remember that?
I'm kidding.
Heart pressure
Yeah,
medicine. It's time for the heart pressure medicine.
I've actually,
Well, tell him to quit effing with me.
I've actually heard some pretty good things about it. So it's, I mean,
It's-
I think
but-
they have a works edition. That's
but,
cool.
But yeah,
They're
What's
doing
interesting about it is that they bulked up the engine apparently a lot, and
'cause they
then
had
they
to.
added the
Yeah.
crap on the app so that you could totally fine tune that bike from your
Stop blowing
smartphone
up.
app.
Somebody said something about him being
Yeah.
in the last chance qualifiers all the time.
wow.
No,
Who was that?
I'm not kidding you. We bust their balls continuously
Think it was-
about that, and then
you
all of
think
a
it was
sudden they
us?
come out with a new bike that was all engine. And it's like, oh,
You think it was us? You think
No.
we think we had everything to do with that?
No,
yes,
that
I do.
was-
I think we developed it.
Calling Mitch Payton a clan leader.
Yeah, Yoda.
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
Wow.
Yoda
Yeah.
got involved.
Yeah. So I in all sincerity, it's a new bike.
Clan.
It's a new bike. So there's been two announcements this week in motorcycle world, which were brands that announced bikes. One of them was
If you say anything
was
about
Beta.
freaking Triumph, I'm going to punch you.
No, I'm not saying anything
Okay.
about your favorite bike, but I'm not even going to talk about our other favorite bike, which is the Marmaduke, which apparently has not only high cut, low cut, 30-inch cut, bagger. It's
got every cut.
And it has a monoshock on it, and it's a pull start. So you can't go wrong with that.
I'm
But
gonna show you a video, but I just ran into Marmaduke out front.
yeah.
Uh-oh.
Dude, that track is muddy as all hell.
Yeah.
There's standing water in
So
places.
there is. So
Humongous, bro. Watch.
So the one that you got to really watch out for that came out this last week, you had Beta make announcements this week, and you had Cowie.
You know what?
That's not the Marmaduke.
You know what's funny?
That's a
Who do you
Coyote.
think is more
what
likely
Moto
to make an impression in the market, Beta or Triumph, once they both roll out next year here?
I think Beta, in all sincerity,
Coyote.
I think that Beta has a better history, obviously, of doing quality motorcycles and quality motocross bikes
Got a deer.
as an Italian manufacturer. And they have been committed to the sport, and they've been committed to off-road, and they've been committed to motocross for a long time. So the fact that Beta is just now getting into Supercross, I think it's cool. I really do. I think it's good that we're bringing in another brand. To be honest with you, now
We're
now-
bringing Beta and Triumph.
I know, but I'm saying that I think it's good we're bringing in another brand. Triumph, I think, is going to struggle. In all sincerity, I think they're going to have some issues with logistics. I think they're
And
going to have
price point.
price point. I think they're going to have some logistics with, the bike itself. They've kept the bike so far under wraps, and not a lot of guys have ridden it.
Except for Ricky Carmichael's